After Earth is a 2013 movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan starring Will and Jaden Smith. It takes place 1,000 years after humans left Earth due to increasing uninhabitability. Will's character, Cypher Rage, is a legendary warrior, and Jaden's character is Cypher's teenaged son, Kitai, who has very far to go to reach his potential. When their spaceship crash lands on the now unfamiliar and dangerous planet Earth and Cypher is injured, Kitai must trek through the hostile terrain to find a rescue beacon. Along the way, he battles through the harsh weather, the mutated animals, and eventually a monster which has no normal senses but can smell the fear in humans. The movie is about Kitai overcoming his fear and doubt in himself. And though it is not executed very well, the idea behind what Shyamalan was trying to convey is a very good one. The human society in the film lives in constant fear of those monsters, even though the monsters are rendered useless and defenseless when a human is devoid of fear. Because the society has essentially focused all of its resources on battling them, it has given the monsters the power of importance. If everybody stopped being afraid of them, they would go away, but it's hard for humans to just not be afraid of something that can kill us. Kitai finally adapts to this understanding, and by the end of the movie he is no longer afraid. Cypher spends the whole movie attempting to distribute his success in being fearless to his son, and though it was a difficult process, Kitai finally figures it out just in the nick of time. This can be conveyed in our own society, though I don't believe it can be codified and taught. I think people can be an inspiration to work through fear, though I don't think that it can be taught the same way one could teach algebra or a language. To begin distributing that kind of a success, one simply has to be visible to others while being fearless, and others will surely follow. Another M. Night Shyamalan film, The Village, deals with a similar theme. It's about a small community in what we believe to be colonial times, in which there are supposedly monsters in the woods. This scares the citizens into never leaving the town to explore. We find out pretty early on that there really are no monsters, just rumors of monsters, supplemented with the elders putting on monster costumes to keep people in check. We find out at the end of the film that it is actually taking place in the modern day, that the elders set up the village as a kind of social experiment. They decided that the real world was too violent, and that they would be better off regressing into the past without the influence of the modern world. So the villagers are living in constant fear of monsters, which have no real intention of physically hurting them. That's not to say that they're doing damage to their lives, but I digress. That's not to say that they're doing no damage to their lives, but I digress. They have no real reason to fear those monsters. It's similar to After Earth in the sense that the members of the society live in constant fear of monsters which have no ability to harm them as long as they're not really afraid. Again, there's no reason to fear them. As mediocre a director as M. Night Shyamalan may be, he does know how to come up with some pretty interesting stories. In these cases, I think The Village works more than After Earth, but that is mostly due to the stellar acting of Joaquin Phoenix and Bryce Dallas Howard in comparison to Jaden Smith and Will Smith's worst performance ever in a movie. Ultimately, After Earth, though it fails to execute properly most of its ideas, the ideas themselves boast very good comparisons to how society as a whole is shaped by fear and how individuals adapt to it. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.